ready?
And now I am. Yeah.
Okay. Five, four, three, two, one. G'day, beard brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and just all round legends. Have we got a show for you this week? I'm Rousey. That is Adrian. We are Two Beards, a podcast and Wrexham AFC. All the Aussie podcast, all about Wrexham AFC.
Well
um,
put.
yeah, well put. We got a big one today. Geez, it's not been a quiet week, has it, Adrian?
Nah, mate, it's just go, go, go at Wrexham at the moment. And we've got so much to cover, but also, ups, downs, fucking transfers, fucking losses, potential wins. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to get into? But I'm keen, and again, appreciate everyone with their patience on this. For those who don't know, we've obviously delayed this recording because of the transfer news. We didn't want to miss out on this, so we wanted to be able to get in on it straight away
Yeah,
and get stuck in.
just we want to cash in on that shit, and otherwise we're just going to be talking about a sad and lonely fucking loss that happened on the weekend. A
Yep.
second straight successive loss, which has not happened in a while. But we'll get
Mm,
onto that a bit later on in the day. But first, we have some fucking housekeeping to do. That's right.
well,
Do you like to fancy yourself as a fuckhead? Are you the type of person that likes to view memes and crazy shit from other people in a chat Discord? Well, if that's you, by all means, come and join us. $5 a month, link in the description down below. You can come and join our little patron program that we so aptly name our fuckheads. We love our fuckheads. It costs you $5 a month. It'll get you discount off our merch store. It will get you shout outs on the pod every single week. It will get you, did I say access to our fans only Discord? Well, you do
I'm
get
pretty
that
sure
too.
you
Pretty
did.
sure I
I'm
did.
pretty sure you did.
That's
But
what
I think the
everyone
best.
comes for,
They're there for
literally.
look, they're there for Rousey's memes.
Yeah,
I'm definitely not. I yeah, I'm in and out like the fucking plague. As soon as Rousey puts the fucking weird and wonderful, 4 a.m.
yeah,
Instagram reel on a Saturday night, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should
exactly.
click
And you
this.
know what? If you ever wanted to know how much man milk it would take to fill an Olympic swimming pool, it'll cost you $5 a month. So so we
But
we
I'll
love our
fuck it.
fuckheads. So our fuckheads this week, we're going to give them a shout out. Adrian, mate, take it away.
Love it. We have got our man in Dubai Reds, Reese, who signed up last episode. Thanks again, mate. We've got Jake, we've got Ryan, we've got Chris, we've got Aaron, we've got John, we've got Will. I've already said Chris, but I'm mentioning this Chris Rousey right here. We got Sarah and obviously myself as well. So thank you to all of you who are there. And fuck, look, it's to be honest, I like it because it's cathartic when we win. It's cathartic when we lose because I can go, you know what? At least we win and lose together. And that's not just Wrexham as a team and as a club, but as our fuckheads as well. When I'm down about it, you've got someone like Rousey posting a funny meme to cheer us up. When we're winning, you've got everyone up and about and just having a great time, getting on the bevs. And yeah, good on you.
And
So,
still
hope,
Rousey posting a funny meme just for the hell of it.
yeah. And he's still, yeah, it doesn't kind of stop. It's just meme, 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 meme. Wrexham content, meme. But it's
Sound
good
like those
memes. It is good
fucking
memes.
seagulls from Finding Nemo. Mime, mime, mime,
Mine,
mime,
mine.
mime.
Honestly, mate, I watched Finding Nemo the other day and I was like, fuck, I didn't know Rousey was in Finding Nemo.
Well, on that note, we have some transfer news. We're going to get right into the good old juicy stuff. Let's go after this. Woo! January 31st, 2024, the deadline day.
Well,
Well, technically it's February 1st, wasn't it? Fuck me.
yeah.
Look, you know what? Pile on me. Give me all the shit because I can totally just fuck that one up. But anyway, tra- we got transfers, we got new faces in the club, we got some faces leaving the club. Um,
Yes.
we will start with our arrivals, shall we?
Yeah, that's a
Our
good way to
lovely
do it.
arrivals. So, welcome to Wrexham, Luke
Bolton.
Bolton. Yeah. Yeah. Luke
And our
Bolton
mate
and Jack Marriott.
Jack Marriott, and I think the best tweet I saw was from a bloke named Simon, and he put up a tweet saying, he goes, what was it? We've signed a hotel, we've signed a hotel. Bolton Marriott, we've signed a hotel. And I was like, just fucking give that man the internet. Like he deserves it. Well done,
Yeah,
mate.
he wins the internet for the week with that comment. That was a good one. But hey, look, two very promising signings. We'll look at let's start with Luke Bolton because um he is joining us from Salford City. Now he happens to have been one of Salford City's best players, probably the most threatening players. And we just gone and stole him, and we're probably going to play him against Salford on the weekend. Ah,
Yeah, I
yes.
wonder. I wonder if there was like a clause. They're like, no worries, we'll let you have him for this fee, but he can't play this weekend. I'd love to know if that was something that was said, because if I know the ability that is Luke Bolton, and I already know I've got Wrexham who are, in that top category, and you're adding to it, like I'd probably not want him on the
Mm,
park. But I don't know how the fucking negotiations went. But it was a good signing, mate. And honestly, it's quite funny how stark different the two signings are. And I'll go into when we talk about Marriott in a bit. But Luke is he looks like a good bloke. He also looks like that geezer who's wearing his fucking North Face jacket. And he's just all in black, and he goes to like the hooligan end. I don't know, just something about it made me look. He looks like one of those tweens who are like, yeah, yeah, all right, boys, all right, geezer, let's go fuck people up. Like that's just how I imagine him on the park. Whereas Jack Marriott, with his big ass abs, um, yeah, it seems like he's one of those gym junkies. So very, very different players.
positive signings. I mean, it's with Luke joining. I mean, you have the right, I guess, to feel a little bit underwhelmed, because he is joining us from a lower level League Two side. But you got to look at his pedigree. He came up through the Manchester City system. Um, spent quite a few seasons on loans with different clubs. I believe he even played for Luton for a year as well, when Elliot Lee was there. So him and
Yeah.
Elliot Lee are probably chums. Um,
Or just fucking enemies, and it'd be great. No, I'm sure Parky wouldn't have let that
no,
happen. But it is a great signing, and I think it's thing that was weird, and I think we're going to touch on this a little bit, but his position. So where he plays on the park, we kind of already have that. Um, and I'm just a bit confused about why we might have brought that in if we've already got that. And by that I mean, and I just want to make sure he definitely still plays that position because I'm pretty sure he does. But
yeah,
as
what
far as I'm aware,
right wing back. Oh,
basically
sorry,
where
yeah,
our mate Ryan Barnett plays, really. And the reason I bring that up is I didn't want to fuck that up because I was like, shit, which one was it again? It was Marriott or the other one. But Bolton plays in the position that Barnett plays in. Now, I get it. Barnett, sometimes can be, hit or miss, but he's probably one of our best players this season. And unless we're moving Barnett forward, which we did, I think, against Newport, it'd be very interesting to see what happens. Or are we just going to be rotating them? And if that's the case, then I think that's a waste of a signing because they both should be on the park in the starting lineup.
well, we'll see. I mean, it's hard to say what Parky's thinking with that, or whether he can play in a different position, or Barnett can play in a different position. Maybe he's going to inject some more pace through the midfield. So he's going to shift some things around. I mean, McLean's got that left hand side on lock at the moment. So I don't see
Yeah,
anyone else taking that position away from him.
no.
You know, so I dare say that, there's a couple things. I mean, Barnett's played as a mid before. So he does have that pace. Um, it's just whether he has that experience to play in that position. But then again, you got your likes of George Evans, you got your likes of Elliot Lee through there. it could be fairly stacked. But
Yeah.
you know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm withholding my judgment on that until I've actually seen him play in red.
Yeah. Oh, and like here's the thing: there's no judgment. He could be. I mean, Billy Waters is a perfect example of someone we brought in, going, "Holy shit, this is huge," because the way he's played for his previous clubs, it's just immense. And then we brought him on, and he just didn't fit. Will Boyle is another example of that same, feel. But yeah, look, I also think there might be a flow-on effect, and I might be thinking too much into this. But if he is to take that right wing back position, where Barnett is, and forgive me, but this has happened is when we had on the left wing, we've obviously got McLean, and then that was originally Mendy's spot. But then Mendy would, when Barnett was injured or out through suspension, would play on that right side, even though it's not his preferred. That also has a flow on effect. Well, because, okay, well, we're not going to ever have McLean and Mendy on the park at the same time again. That's going to be
Hey,
another
did you
rotation.
see Mendy playing for Gambia?
Yeah.
Just thinking
E-
about it. They played
Everyone
him
was
as a
tweeting
right
about him.
back. They didn't
Yeah.
play him as a winger. They played him as a right back.
In his first game wasn't, I mean, I don't think they even played him in the first game, but when he did get on the park, like people were like, I saw people tweeting about him who weren't nothing to do with Wrexham. They were watching the African Cup of Nations and they were talking about Mendy. And that made me proud as a Wrexham fan. I know I don't have any involvement in his progression and growth, but also he's pretty fucking special, Mendy is. And honestly, I'm very excited to have him back. I'm also, yeah, as I said, I'm worried about that flow on effect with Bolton as well. Does that mean we're just going to be rotating McLean and Mendy each game and Barnett and Bolton on the other side? Is that something that's going to happen? We'll wait and see.
It's
But like you
possible. I
said,
mean, those are some very strong substitutions to make.
I mean,
You can,
maybe that's what Parky wants. Maybe that's what he's after is like, fuck it. When we're in the shit, I want to bring on people and go, right, that's it, game the fuck on.
mm,
Maybe that's what he wants to do. And like, that's perfectly fine as long as those players are aware of their position in the team, because some people don't like being on the bench. And if they get an offer in the summer that says, XYZ, they're going to get a better playing time and possibly a better budget. We
mm.
could lose like people like Mendy and Barnett down the track because of the people we've brought in like McLean and Bolton later on. So it's really intriguing. Look, I'm overanalyzing. They haven't played yet. We'll see how it all works. I could be completely fucking wrong, and everyone will be playing on the park, and I just look like a right wank. But we'll see.
All right. And the other signing we had was Jack Marriott from Fleetwood Town.
Fleetwood
Bottom
Mac.
cellar dwellers of League One at this stage, but
Yeah,
he came in with some good pedigree, obviously playing for Derby County and those guys. And tell you what, that if there's any signing that's impressed me, it's that signing there.
yeah. Agreed.
What
Agreed.
you can do with that signing, essentially now you've got Fletcher, you've got Mullen, you've got Palmer, and you got Dolby. We'll get on to Bickerstaff a bit later on, but
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
you've got four very, very experienced strikers. And
Yeah,
we're crying out for a little bit of pace up front, a little bit of nous, a little bit of touch, and a little bit of consistency up front. I believe that's probably the best way of putting it. It's just that little bit of consistency. And now
yeah,
we have four ready-made strikers of League One and above caliber.
yeah.
Um,
This
that
is
will
to
come
secure
in.
promotion, mate. They brought it in to go, you know what? We need to settle this ship right here and right now. There is, we could concede until the cows come home. And a lot of people are like, why aren't we getting centre backs? Or why are we not, fucking trying to plug the holes? That it's like, well, you know what? We've proven that as long as you kick more goals than the other team, it doesn't fucking matter as long as you get the win. So it is
Mm.
quite interesting that I was a bit worried towards the start, and we've mentioned it in the pod that I was really worried about the goal differential being a real factor come to the end of the year. But now it's like, well, fuck it. If we're higher points, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So bringing in like a player like a Jack Marriott is huge because look, I'm just looking at his stats here. So like you said, yeah, when he was at Derby, he played 69 games, kicked 10 goals between 2018 and 2021. So not too great. But before he got to Derby, he was actually at Peterborough United, played 44 games, kicked 27 goals. Before that, he was at Luton. So I think it might have been this bloke. 2015 to 2017 was at Luton, played 79 games and scored 22 goals with them. Then it went back to Peterborough United before going to Fleetwood, got 13 goals, 49 appearances. And then at Fleetwood, again, 13 goals, 43 appearances. Now, we're not asking for a 20-goal player, but to get 13 before that, 20 odd, before that, 20 odd. That's consistency that you're talking about, Rousey. That's the consistency you're talking about. And having him in there and a Fletcher who was done and dusted, firing as well, obviously when he's fit, that just fucking changes the game. Again, he is I say an older character. Fucking how old is the bloke? He's not that old. He was born in 94, so he's my age. So he's literally my age. He's 29. He should be fine. He'll come through and he will be, everyone talks about the retirement home. Oh, okay, well, people just going to Wrexham just to kind of finish off their career. You know what? If you're 29 and you're finishing your career, Wrexham, that's a pretty damn good place to do it because you're just going to climb. And if you're good enough, you stay in that starting 11. I don't know if Marriott walks into that starting 11 straight off the bat. I think it takes a bit of time.
I think he comes on as a sub on the weekend.
Agreed. He will not start straight away. Dolby will start until Dolby makes a mistake, which could be quite imminent. And then when he does, then it will be, all right, your time to shine, mate. Show us what you're made of. And if not, Fletcher, when he's fit, will come back and fill that spot. So you're right, man. We are guns blazing. Fuck it. Let's just bring it home. Like you said, our midfield was never really a problem. Our defense has been iffy, but once we get everyone right and fit, we should be good to go. And that's when we kind of bring it on. Talking about the people we lost, though,
yes,
I want to talk
right
about
into that. So, we obviously Jake Bickerstaff went out on loan to Accrington Stanley. We lost Bryce Hosanna and we lost McAlinden. Now, McAlinden was the one that surprised me because he's a extremely good utility man. I would have thought. I could have sworn the likes of maybe Luke Young would have gone. I think everyone was kind of expecting to hear something like that, but
we mentioned it on the pod a couple of weeks ago that he was obviously, if he wasn't happy, he would leave and we would give him our blessing. The thing about Luke Young is we love Luke Young, but he will stay and he'll see it through because he's captain. And I fucking love that about him because he might not be on the park, but he's captaining.
Captain, so,
Yeah,
I get it. And look, this Luke Young's been around the club for many, many years. He's one of the few left over from the pre-Phil Parkinson era.
He's the only one now.
He's been an absolute stalwart and long stay of the club, and he's put in his blood, sweat, and tears into the club. And yes, it would be a shame for him to be moved on, but I was surprised it didn't happen. I was surprised because I don't see him playing. Even when he's on the bench, I don't see him playing because
I think he doesn't care.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say he doesn't care. I think he thinks of his role is bigger than that, and the National League proved that last year. Why did Luke Young go up there and hold the trophy with Ben Tozer last year? Because he was integral to it. Obviously, he didn't play as many games as Tozer. Obviously, he didn't captain every game. Probably captain far less than what Tozer did, But it doesn't matter. He's still the captain and Tozer's still the vice captain. And the way I love Luke Young is that he's probably just going to sit in the background and get the boys across the line. And maybe he does move on. But I honestly... Let's just say let's say he stays on again. Let's say we get to summer. We've gone up another league. There is no chance he's playing at all. But there might be negotiations with him, maybe getting a backroom position, because you need to keep that culture. Because I'm not saying Parky's going to leave anytime soon, but let's just say he ever got poached by I don't know, a Premier League club. I'm not saying that's possible, but if it happened, you need to keep the culture. You can't just have him take his staff and then leave, and then the culture's gone. You need people like Luke Young around to
Mm.
keep that culture instilled. So, look, I'm happy he stuck around, and you know what? I hope he lifts that trophy at the end of the year, or at least gets to sink a
I've
bunch of
got a
beers for the
sneaking
promotion.
I've got a sneaking suspicion that that is going to fucking happen.
Love
Uh,
it.
we just, even the results last weekend went our way, so we just got to capitalize on that. Hopefully, we can fix a few things up and give Salford a bit of a stamping. Um,
Can
but
we talk about bigger stuff for just a moment? Just
that
because
yeah, so
that's a
this
big
is where
one.
I was actually bringing it around to. So obviously Bickerstaff going out on loan to Accrington Stanley were very smart move, because he wasn't going to get
Yeah,
into those striker sides. So we're actually giving Bickerstaff a chance um to prove himself, to develop
yeah,
his skills, to get more minutes,
yeah,
to sort of bring him into the fold and up to speed. And that's clearly what this was. And
yeah.
Accrington Stanley just had their main striker recalled. Um, and so we've obviously, sent them one of our own.
Send him to Andy. Send him to
Yeah.
Big Andy.
Fuck.
And but I think the best part about this is someone tweeted this as well. And again, I don't want to ever claim that I've ever tweeted these, because these are really fucking good. But someone's like, well, obviously Sean Harvey and Andy have kind of made up, and it's a very fair point,
I didn't
because
that didn't
he was.
even cross my mind, and now you brought that up. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, but it's not even that. Like, I don't care that that's happened, but I would have thought that it was irreparable, because Andy was calling out Sean like, oh, you've got an EFL person. He's obviously flouting the rules and blah, 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 being whatever the fuck he wants to be, Andy Holt. Anyways, Sean Harvey, obviously being the bigger man, has gone, fuck it, do you want him or not? And then it's like, yeah, right. And it's a loan again. It's not a sale. So there is you have to work with them on it. So they must have patched it up. Maybe it was just for the press, as we already thought it was. Maybe Andy was just playing it up to get some camera time, and that obviously worked out for him. But can't believe we're bringing up his name again because of fucking bigger stuff. But I love that man, and I'm glad we're not losing him. My biggest fear was losing bigger stuff, because once we can get him at the same caliber as Mullen, as Palmer, and as our new boys as well, that man will be unstoppable, because when he's on, he is on. Obviously, when he's not, it's there's a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
He works on that in the same league, So he's not going down like he did last year. I think the last time he went out on loan, he went to the National League North, or at least he went down to the bottom end of National League. Now he's going to a pretty good club with a good history that'll take care of him. And, if it works out, great. We get to bring him back and hopefully integrate him well into the team. If we don't, then we need to try and flip that for some cash.
Yeah, well, he just signed a long-term deal, but a couple months before, obviously. So we've got him for a while. So maybe he will go out on loan a few times, and we'll get to see him. And we will see him back at the race course on 2nd of March when Accrington Stanley come to play us. So,
Well, usually,
oh
usually when
dear.
someone's gone out on loan, there is a rule you can't play against your parent club. I would assume that rule is in place in League Two as well. So I don't think we'll see him,
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see. And then,
because then a lot of people
there
think
was
it's
a bit of a
tanking.
miss in this window. There was meant to be a third coming in, and it didn't happen.
Lindsay.
Rotherham was apparently holding out. They didn't want to budge on their price, and now they've just gone and signed a really, really good striker back to their club. And poor old Lindsay is just gonna be fucking sitting on the sidelines, twiddling his thumbs, and then we'll get him on a free at the end of the year. But
It's the funniest part
ugh,
of it is we're going to get him on a free at the end of the year. Like that,
yeah,
just they lost out. All they had to do was cop the fact that we didn't want to pay an extra 100,000, and just cop that and take the money and just go, you know what, we've already got what we wanted. Pay the money, we'll be happy. Nope. They've honestly fucked
They
themselves
fucked
over
themselves.
because
They fucked
really
themselves
fucked
because they could have
themselves.
had the money.
Yep.
They could have, had that nice little transfer fee from Wrexham. But then now they fuck themselves because we'll go probably get him on a free at the end of the year. So,
And if we don't, it's because he wasn't good enough. And it's exactly like the Armstrong thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, next window we'll get Armstrong. Don't worry."
and
And then
that's
obviously
why
Armstrong hasn't
Rotherham
lived
is
up.
fucking 24th in the Championship League. They make stupid decisions just like that. Ah, well, the Wrexham tax will bite them in the ass. But
Yep.
look, speaking of misses, we missed one on the weekend, sadly. So let's talk about that after this. Woo! Righto, FA Cup. We had the game against Blackburn. What a fucking shambles that was. Um, it was it. Okay, I'm going to start by
Do it.
saying this.
Rousey's rant.
When no, I wouldn't say Rousey's rant because it was a clean game. It was a good victory. It was clearly, the best striker in the championship, or best, attacking mid in the
Good old
championship.
small
And
dicks.
yep, and Gallagher and Smodix were incredible. It started off obviously with a mighty bomb from Andy Cannon that when I saw go in, I'm just like thinking, here we go, it's on, it's on.
Little Lion Man. I love that man. I
And then
fucking love him.
we just completely fell apart. we
Capitulated.
just we just fucking shat the bed, and that was it.
Best way to put it.
Yeah, we shat the bed pretty much. That was it. And look, it's the FA Cup. It's a free hit. We would have liked to have gone through and versus Newcastle, but yeah, it is what it is. However, that is our second loss on the trot. Okonkwo had an uncharacteristically bad game. Do you think Okonkwo probably let the nerves get to him a little bit?
100%. I think he and it showed that it was a bit of a mental game going on. As you will have known, he'd been wearing a mask to protect himself for, however many weeks due to injury. And he didn't wear it in the first half. Then we concede two, he goes off, it comes back on and he's wearing it. And I know it was because he got the knock, and we can go into that in a moment, but he's put that on, and if I'm like a Okonkwo, it's like he's thinking, shit, I'm going to get hit again. I'm a bit nervy here that's going to be a problem. I'm going to put it back on. Now maybe I'm reading too much into it, but there were a couple of stupid mistakes that he's just never made for us ever, like never shown that side of him before. Yep, the thing is, he's a kid. He's played in the FA Cup fourth round for the first time, and he's played at a big stadium that's houses 18,000, one of the biggest stadiums he's played in front of. Yeah, he let the occasion get to him, and unfortunately, it bit us on the ass. But it's not all his fault either. Fucking distribution from the back was poor. The midfielders were having to fucking hold back, and there was, like you said, and we can talk about it. Can you go into what happened with the ball movement between the midfield and the forwards? Because you talked about it with me on the phone, and it was perfectly put.
Yeah, so when you go back and you look, I was looking through the footage of the game, you see there's obviously our back line with our wingers. They obviously float through that back line through to
Yeah.
attacking mids. And then obviously our mids were back there. Now our mids and our attack and our defenders were quite often sitting off and sitting back deep defending, essentially parking the bus against the championship side. That's never going to work for one, especially a side like Blackburn. Even though they're bottom of the championship, they're still a championship side. They've still got quality players. You can't really do that. So they were, I think, they were playing very defensively. Now, our attacking group, so our Mullins and Dolby and that, they were sitting quite deep up the other end. So the distance between the midfielders and the strikers was really long. And essentially what that was forcing forcing to happen was it was forcing Wrexham to either play long balls through to try and engage our strikers, or essentially they're trying to push through and push up a massive distance to get to the strikers and having it stolen off them. Um, because obviously Blackburn were pushing down deep and squeezing them in, and we were allowing them to squeeze us in with the way we had formed up, with just that pure distance. And you either got to you're either left with a decision. You either lob it long and you go lob it over the top and hope to get on a run, which was never going to work with the way that Blackburn was set up defensively. And or you've got to try and play through and hold the ball longer through your mids and risk having it taken off and sent back down. And that's exactly what happened. That is the whole entire game in a nutshell. It
Yep.
didn't change. I think, the first goal was great and then they scored two. And I think it put us too defensive minded. We didn't go, right, let's just take this on.
And we were too worried about the bleeding. We were just too worried about, oh shit, what if we concede another? Oh shit, what if we do that?
Mm.
And like you found ourselves kind of, I would hate to say it, obviously it was a better class and better caliber of team, but it was kind of how Newport pressed us the week before. It just seemed like a similar press where we weren't really getting much onto it. There was obviously
I reckon they probably did their homework and watched that Newport game.
yeah.
Well, they play a very similar style with their defense. They play a very similar setup to what Newport do. And they clearly decided, well, we can take advantage of that. We can play that way. So
They
they
chose
played that
violence.
way. And that is Wrexham's Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Now, if you catch Wrexham on a good day, that style ain't going to fucking work one bit. Right? Not going to work. If you catch them on a good day. If you catch them when they're slightly off, that's Wrexham's Achilles heel. And
I'd love to press you on that as well, because you talk about on a good day. A good day, Wrexham is at home. At the race course, at the Caras, at the fucking in Wales. And mate, well, north of Wales, because we got fucked on by Newport. Anyways, it is at home. And we cannot play away this season. It is fucking apparent. We've just done it 2 games in a row away. We now go away again, and we're going to go into that in a bit. How much do you think that weighs on the team, or do you think it's just a stat that's just gone against us, but we'll turn it around?
I think really it's probably just a stat that's gone against us that we could possibly turn around. We don't play really well on, and I've said this before plenty of times, we don't play well on tight and closed in pitches. Thankfully, Salford's not really too much like that, so I think we might be a bit okay. But yeah, it's just you ask why do we play so well at home versus why do we play so shit away? And home ground advantages is obviously a completely real thing. But if we can go to the likes of Notts County and and likes of what's the other good teams we played away against? Fuck it. We've done well and we beat Notts County 2-0 with their very high pressure, high line style of play. We beat them and we've proven that we can do it. We've proven that we can perform on the road. It's just a form is so patchy and maybe it's I think I'm just like everyone else going, what the hell is going on with our away form? Like we just can't understand what the fuck is going on. But at the same time, it feels like just a little tweak and we'll be fucking laughing. And I still think we're gonna go back to back.
No, and I know you talk about it, and and this is the one thing I love about Wrexham fans, especially with the transfer window, is people have come up to us, on Twitter, on fucking whatever platform, and they're like, they've just signed all these players and they'll still only finish third. It's like, who gives a fuck? That's a promotion spot. I don't give a fuck if we're first, second, or third. If we're in that mob, we're going up. That's all that matters. And you've talked about it and you've agreed. Yes, you still believe we'll go back to back. That doesn't change. I'm just saying, even if we fall short, if we go second, third, that doesn't fucking matter. We still
Still
going
going to
up.
League One.
So the biggest thing for me though, and you talk about patchy form, is I think about 3 games that we've done away, 4 really, and they're the 4 away draws that I can think of. I'm talking that Barrow draw early in the season, 1-1, that Bradford draw, what was it, 1-1 as well? Wimbledon draw, 1-1. Mansfield draw as well. So that's 4 draws on the road. The difference there was we were putting up a fight and we were playing better, obviously, because we can score. When we don't score, a la Newport, a la Accrington Stanley, we fucking lose. And obviously, that's the dumbest thing I've ever said. No shit, we have to score to win. But it's not about that. It's about even when we have played well, we still haven't made at the mark away from home. And that's a very apparent. So we talked about it off air that this game against Salford ends up being pretty important in the grand scheme of things, at least moving forward. I think we've still got another 5 away games out of the next 7, whatever. That's crazy. And if we start to drop the first one against Salford, who we should really be beating, then we need to start asking questions, because that's 3 losses on the trot, 3 away losses as well. Even if we get a draw, I still don't call that a win either. So
No,
I
it has to
really
be a
think we
win
need to
against
be a win.
Salford.
We have to
Has to
win.
be. Has to be a win. And you know what? I think it's going to be a win. So let's talk about Salford, shall we? After this.
Let's do it.
Rightio, Salford City this weekend, the game that we feels like we must go out and win, that we were just talking about. We have to go fucking win this, boys. Come on, get out there, make some noise, scream at the TV, jump out of your car recording whilst people score. Do whatever you got to do to get the boys over the line. And you know what? I think I do actually feel quite optimistic about this game. I think the boys know. I'm pretty sure Parky's had it drilled into them, and I think the boys know that they have to make a bit of a turnaround, a bit of a statement here. We've got new players coming into the squad, which we've already spoken about. It's yet to be seen how Parky chooses to play them or how they're going to line up. Obviously, we can use Bolton against Salford. So I know you mentioned that.
I still think that's yet to be shown that we
Mm,
can do that or not. If I'm Salford and I'm selling a
only I
guy,
think that's only if they're on loan.
yeah, no, that's like that rule is like legit, like a rule. Like if they're on loan, that's why we won't see bigger stuff play against us. But I'm just saying sometimes in a contract, as they're selling, especially if they're playing that week, I'm not saying like, oh, you can't play against us 3 weeks from now. If the game's on the weekend, which it's, a couple days from when he's signing, the chances of him being right and ready to play fucking slim, because he's not done it. The last time we did that was actually Ollie Palmer arrived the day before, then played the next day, met all the boys during the fucking warm up. So like that could happen, of course, but I doubt he will. And I just kind of want to go through Salford just briefly. We should be winning. We've talked about this. We mentioned in the previous segment. We're mentioning it in this segment. We have to win. We should be winning. Salford have actually played 2 more games than us, sitting on 31 points. They are 19th in the league.
If
We
we
are sitting on
can't win
50.
that,
Yeah.
then what the fuck?
Then you're fucked. Yeah, you're fucked. We're basically
And look,
just
I get
showing
it.
that we
I
are a
get it.
home flat track
Yeah,
bully.
I get it. We are everyone's cup final. I get it. But there is no reason we shouldn't be going out and winning this game. Especially the boys will be fucking fired up and hungry. They've just lost
Yeah.
2 on the trot. They're going to want to redeem themselves. They're going to want to come out firing. Hopefully we get Fletcher back. Don't know about Tom O'Connor, whether he's fit enough to come back. Maybe Hayden might be fit enough to come back. That'll be good. wrap him in bubble wrap, give him a rub, she'll be right. Make sure he doesn't
Mm.
get fucking injured.
Yeah, that's it. But like, look,
So,
what I was getting at is like there's obviously us sitting on 52 points. We've played two less on 27 played. But probably the big stats here is that Salford are ranked 17th in goals scored per match at 1.3 goals. That's fucked. They haven't won at home in their last 7 matches. In their last 7 games at home, Salford have not won. Salford City and Wrexham have not drawn any of their last 3 matches against each other. So there is a result happening on the weekend. And if it's not Wrexham winning, we need to be asking some serious fucking questions around our away form because I'm sick of us brushing it off, going, oh, but we had our off week. Oh, we what? No, we should be
well,
winning
look, the
this.
good
We're
news is
title. If Rousey wants us to, if you want to let me finish my segment, I'll be 2 seconds. I'll let you go with yours. You just let me go with mine.
and how you talk more than an old lady.
Oh, wow. Let's time it, guys. If you want to listen back, and Rousey, you can do a timer on the screen if you want. His previous segment that he
Go on.
interrupted me on
You were
went for a
onto some
length of
valid
time.
points. I
His went
apologize for
actually
being
longer
so
than mine.
rude.
So yeah, fair enough. So ranked, we are literally need to be walking into this and we need to be winning. But obviously it's not as simple as, okay, well, we beat Salford, that's it. We're fucking done. We've got so many away games coming up that are super integral. Yes, the games have been going our way and we've been very lucky, but that's what we have been, lucky. Those games that have happened in the last couple of weeks, Mansfield in particular, they win those 2 that they didn't get. And all of a sudden, we're all going, oh shit, are we going to get promotion or are we going to playoffs? Whereas right now we're sitting pretty in second going, oh, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. At this point in time, it's not going to be the case. We need to win. That's it. Simple as.
Well, given the amount of home games we've got left, we've got more home games left in the second half than we've had in the first half of the season. If we win all our home games, we're probably still going to get promoted. So
You're saying if we lose all of our away games, let's just say we lose all
yeah.
of them, we'd still get promoted.
I mean, look, we might need some
It's not
results to
possible.
go. We might need
It's
some
not
results to
possible.
go away.
We wouldn't even get fucking playoffs, mate.
No, we would. I reckon we would. We'll need some results to go away, but it's possible. But look, it doesn't take away from the fact that we need to address our away form. And I believe that the boys will do it. I know Parkies are probably all over it. And we've brought some new faces into the squad. So we'll wait and see what happens. And hopefully we can pull off a win and not having to be questioned another fucking loss in the next week's podcast. So yeah, I get it. I get it. And you make a very valid point. But I do think that the boys will respond, and I don't see us losing against Salford. I'm going to say 2-0 is my prediction.
Like it. I'm going with 3-1 Wrexham. I think we unfortunately concede too much as they're the 17th ranked goals per match average. I still think we'll somehow fucking concede, but I still think we'll put 3 past them. Maybe Mullen will get some form, get a brace, and Elliot Lee with the third.
Oh, there we go. So 3-1 from Adrian, 2-0 from me. Clean sheets all around, cleaner than my sheets on my bed, that's for sure. And we need a Conquo to do a thing, to get his confidence back. So look, let's wrap this podcast up. We know everyone's probably been podcasted out with all the same bloody podcast content. We're all talking about the same shit. But let's be honest, you want to listen to us two fucking sexy Aussies talk about this rather than,
Faces for radio, my friend. We've got faces for radio.
All right. Well, let's fucking wrap this up right after this. Woo! Righto. So there we go. Another podcast, another week. We've spoken about our losses. We've cried it out. We've hugged it out. We've rubbed it out. we're just, we're just, we're looking forward to this next part of the season. and, and fucking hell.
I can't. Honestly, it's so funny. I was thinking about it
I know.
whilst you were talking. I'm like, fuck, Rouse is being tamed today. Like you mentioned in a previous segment, and you can watch me giggle if you scrub it back to like the fucking 10-minute mark. You talked about like, yeah, we need to be squeezing it in and just really getting in there. And I'm giggling like a schoolgirl, and you're just straight over your head. I'm like, Rousey, mate, like he's turned off, and then all of a sudden he's talking about rubbing one out, and I'm like, yeah, that's my boy. That's the guy that I make a pod with.
Oh dear. Yeah, yeah. So depressing. We got the highs, we got the lows. You know, let's just go out there and give it our all. And
Smash him.
I know I'm going to be awake watching the game. It
Same.
is fucking ball sweat hot down here in WA at the moment. It is just cooked. And we've just gone through our second heat wave of the summer. We get about 2 or 3 days relief from the heat, and then we've got another 5 days over 40 degrees.
So you'd better hope that Wrexham fucking win for you, or that's going to be a miserable, sweaty evening.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But hey, it gives me a reason to watch Wrexham with my pants off. So,
I've been doing that already, mate.
you've been doing that. Oh, fuck. I got to jump on board. Jesus. All right. so, so,
Ah,
guys,
shit.
that is it for another week. If you like, let us know what you think. We've got a few things in the works, a few projects going on, and some, hopefully, a really, really interesting and big episode next week.
Huge episode.
Hey,
Fucking
tune in for
huge.
that. I'm not making any
Huge.
promises yet, but we've got a
Nah, I'm
guest.
making a promise. It's fucking massive. Tune
We
in.
got a big guest coming next week, and it maybe not football related, but you'll see it's a big one. So
If you're
I'm
Welsh, you know.
excited about it. I'm excited about it. So I'll give you a hint. It's paying home. It's going back to our roots as paying, uh, you know, Welsh singers and artists. So we'll leave it with that. It's a big one though. But
Big one.
anyway, so guys, comment down below if you want to reach out to us. Links in the description for our Fuckhead program. Um, Links in our description if you want to just follow us on X or follow us on Instagram or do whatever the fuck you want to do. Maybe you want to try and steal Adrian's steals and, AI him onto a nude, Adonis Herculean, you know, man.
Rousey, you got to stop talking about your like home projects. Like he's just been like that. He's mentioning this because I guarantee he's sat there one evening and he's just gotten high going, I'm going to put that bald man on Arnold Schwarzenegger's fucking greased up body. Like,
Yeah.
100% that's what he's done. 100%
Yeah.
that's happened. And look, if you want, we'll do a competition. No, I'm kidding. Please don't do
No,
this.
absolutely. Guys, on X, reach out to us now. We want to see actual photos of Adrian's head on some muscly, greased up man's body, possibly naked. Maybe put him on the couch. We'll see.
What have I done? What have I done?
Make it happen. Make it happen. And the winner will get a shout out on our pod. Let's do that. So make it happen, guys. Thank you to all 1,700 of you that have subscribed. Guys, if you like this, subscribe, share the shit out of this. We love you. We are two beards. Beard brethren, Sheila's fuckheads, all round legends. See you next week. Let's go.
See you.